welcome to I almost
Space!
said fan
You're
battle
in
cast,
space!
where we talk about the death battles that Death Battle won't death battle.
Blimey,
Does
they can't
that
see
work?
the matchup. Oh, there we go.
They
Okay.
can.
It's
Yeah,
cause,
there
it's
we go.
because it's because I wasn't in OBS. I was in OBS, not on the
No.
thing itself. I don't want you to be here, Purple Bard, telling me that I'm streaming. I know I'm streaming. We are here talking about space matchups today. We got Sherm. Who's this?
In the wise words of one Mark I. Plyer, space is cool.
We got Saul.
Hi, before this cast I got converted into a Cyberman, so I'm holding someone hostage until this cast is over. You can see it in my hands.
I didn't even notice that.
Did you know? I explicitly pointed it out.
We got Jobber.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Jobber driving in my car. It's weather, there's a lot of fog here. Think about playing the left-right game, but I'm glad to be here. Let's go!
I
I was expecting to hear, let's go!
Just look at Swerve.
Some Hot Wheels right there.
Hold on, I gotta hit this ramp.
Yep.
And we got special cast, I still don't know how to say it, Croatian? Or is it Croatian?
What's up, everybody? I'm the Croat Cajun from Fan Battlecast and the Raccoon Bro VA Cinematic Universe.
Raccoon VA Cinematic Universe? What the heck? Never mind, we're gonna
That's
get
a
sidetracked
whole
with
lore.
that. Apparently.
We need to put Raccoon Bro VA in a matchup at some point. He's got lore.
We keep making jokes that we're going to put him in a matchup. Ace like, no, I have too many anti-feats. And we're like, no, you're getting in a matchup.
That's what makes it so good.
Alright, so we're talking about space theme matchups that these guys either submitted to me or the Discord submitted to me. The Discord is in the description if you want to join it and talk to us. This first matchup, I can't remember who submitted it. I'm sorry. Boros versus Battle Beast. Who submitted this? Or who chose this to be on the cast? Please talk about it. I don't know much about
This was
matchup.
one Professor Hope from the Discord.
Okay.
And this was one of yours, Sherm.
Yes, I think, well, multiple of us like this matchup. This is just like, on the surface, it's just a very solid matchup. But Boros and Battle Beast are both very fun characters from One Punch Man and from Invincible. And they just want to fight, and we want to see them fight. I think, like, logistically, you wouldn't need too much. You would just need, like, the sprite sheets for them individually, and then they would fight in some space-themed location, and it would be cool as hell.
I wonder if you could... I wonder if this would look better in 3D, especially now that Battle Beast is getting a model from the game.
I think Boros does have a model because there was a One Punch Man fighting game.
Yeah, so I feel like they both would have accessible models.
They would
I-
have
I-
accessible models. The obstacle would be like how gruesome and bloody we could make, because manipulating a model to be like torn apart is a lot harder than making sprites torn apart.
I think my main issue with this as an idea is that writing a Boros analysis sounds horrible because he has like no content and like no backstory stuff. Battle Beast has a lot to get into with like his own backstory, with like his curse, his relationship with like the characters, and he's like getting his spin-off comic like right now, you know. Boros,
You can play more into like what Boros represents because he's a parody of Saiyans. He's a parody of like
yeah.
that kind of shit. So you can play more into like, oh, he's like that traditional like protagonist that you see a lot in shonen action manga being dicked around by Saitama.
I feel that would be a weird thing to highlight in a matchup like this, which kind of focuses on like their want for battle.
So, to my knowledge, Boros, he's the One Punch Man guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't he only appear in like 2 episodes or something like that? Doesn't he just
Yes.
kind of show up?
Yes.
Yep.
He,
Pretty much. Yeah.
There was
he is.
some implication that he was gonna come back in the web comic. Like we saw his like part of his body in like a vat, and then that didn't go anywhere, so he's still only in those 2 episodes.
Also, he is like the first. He's supposed to signify the first like proper threat Saitama has, because his whole thing is that Saitama can one punch him, but he has really good regeneration.
And then it led to Saitama using the serious punch for the first time.
Yeah, he's supposed to represent the first actual, like not straight up challenge, but more difficult than my casual punch. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't know what Battle Beast does in terms of combat. Is he just like raw fighting?
He is just a raw hand-to-hand fighter with like blades and swords. He fought Throg, who is like the fighting lead of the Viltrum Empire, for like a day straight. With like no breaks. Like it cuts away from the comic a little bit, and then when you come back, Alan the alien, who's watching over the fight, is like, man, they've been going at it for like days, and there seems to be no like tiebreaker.
The parallels to Scotsman versus Devilman continue. A character that can fight for over a day, a character that only has like 20 minutes of content.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
When it comes to potential invincible matchups, this is always one that's like in the forefront of my mind of like, this is just one of the best options in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Like,
there's a lot. Yeah.
The fight would be glorious between these two.
I just say if we don't get the visuals and the sound of the collapsing star cannon right, we failed. That is the one
that's like
thing we need
the
to
first
nail.
thing we should work on, so we know we
Yeah.
can get that right. And then once we got that, we're like, all right, now we can do the rest of the fight.
I also think it's funny from a debate standpoint, like, Battle Beast, like, pretty comfortably wins, even though Boris' whole thing is like, yeah, he can regenerate, but you just have to overtax it. And considering Battle Beast's regeneration, like stamina is far better than Boros's, like, regeneration factor. He just kind of tires the man out.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But this fight is classic though. I do like, Boris versus Battle Beast. It's a classic fight. You can't go wrong with this one. Just 2 people who love battling. They start battling each other. And like, I mean, we already know, Boris is gonna take an L here, but at least he's gonna be like satisfied. Like, you know what, that was a pretty good fight. Like, you won't be like at least super disappointed. Like, I guess it's not so much as a wash when he's like fought like Saitama. He's like, bro, you weren't trying. You're lying to me. You're lying.
You were. Oh, that was so funny when he was like, "You lied to me this entire fucking time." Saitama was like, "Yep."
Battle Beast is not going to be happy because Boros is unable to give him his worthy death.
Yeah, that's all Battle Beast wants, right? He just wants to die.
Yeah, he just
while
wants
fighting
a
his
worthy
hardest.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why he is spoilers. Spoilers for Invincible. Fucking read the comic at this point. It's why Throg, like, when Battle Beast dies to Throg, he's like really happy about it.
All right. So
Battle Beast
just
would've
so
won.
everyone here also knows, I'm gonna say this: I'm imposing a 5-minute rule, so we don't end up like last time and stuck on one matchup for like 30 minutes.
I'm honestly surprised we talked about this
Understood.
for this long. I thought this was gonna be like a 2-minute convo.
Well,
You got
I was
me
gonna-
here.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
I was gonna stop it, and then Jobber started talking. I was like, I can't cut Jobber off.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Saul,
Yeah, 5
sure, but not Jobber.
Ooh.
All right. Soul Bad Guy
Saul,
versus
you have
Bash.
thoughts, right?
Also, peak thumbnail, by the way.
Hey,
This is
Cool.
by Mug, I believe.
yeah, this is my
Yeah.
pick that I chose because I like this one. Guilty Gear is one that I really want to do on the show for like a variety of reasons. It's one of those kind of classic death battle franchises that kind of needs a relook at. And I feel like this is one of the quintessential matchups that could be done for it. Really good long list of thematics. There's a really good fight potential behind it. I know you really like Trigun, don't you, Plime?
I would love to do a Vash matchup, and his most popular one is not one I like. So this tickles my fancy a little bit more.
I haven't. I need to watch Trigun. Oh,
So
like
the thing about Trigun is that there's 3 different continuities. There's the manga, the anime, and then the new anime, which blows ass. So this is only
liked
really debatable with the manga canon because he has things like a gun that can hit you in multiple dimensions at once and a gun that can fire black holes and shit. Whereas the anime, he just kind of has a pistol. He has the, oh my god, I'm forgetting the name of the weapon. When his handgun like fuses with his arm and it becomes this huge cannon that can shard the moon. Yeah. By the way, moon level isn't doing anything to Soul Bad Guy, so even if that's the best feat, I don't think it's gonna do shit.
I've heard that Vash gets higher.
Like
in the manga, yes, but if you're trying to just saying anime, he's barely moon level. Whereas
no, this
manga,
uses
so
manga.
Much, yeah.
I also think another thing that like why we should do this matchup is these two probably wouldn't end up killing each other. So trying to force that under a normal death battle, I mean Vash definitely wouldn't, you know?
No.
So trying to force a death out of these two feels really fucked up.
Yeah, and Soul wouldn't kill Vash because it's not a version of Soul's wife, so there's no reason to kill him. That's literally every Guilty Gear game, by the way, is like, oh shit.
Out of context, if you don't know Guilty Gear, that's an insane thing to say.
That's the thing with Guilty Gear. Almost every game is just like, oh look, a clone of my wife I must kill.
Yeah, from a debate standpoint, both are low complex multiversal.
Yeah.
Vash it's really close. It's very close as well, from what I know.
I would
watch Trigun.
If Vash, I'm not saying I know who wins because I don't know full cosmology scaling or full scaling for each of these characters. But what the appealing thing is, like, we are not Death Battle, so we don't have to kill. So having Vash on the show, we can have... Granted, I wouldn't want to... If Vash wins, I wouldn't want to end it like the anime, where he's like, I won't kill you, but I'm going to make it so you can't move your arms or legs anymore.
God, no.
But, like, there's ways you can end this in more fun ways.
Overpowered and just knocking one of them out works.
Yeah. And it's not like Vash has never used rubber bullets to fucking just put someone down for a second while... he gets away or whatever.
You better not shoot an eye out.
Vash versus whatever the fuck that kid's name is peak, bro. Choppers.
Yo.
Oh, you're here. Okay. I thought he was like...
Yeah, I was just asking me just when your background noise. All right, so... Hey, what's up?
Can you not see
the Amethyst matchup?
Amethyst
I can see. Okay, there.
Whatever that thing is.
The OKKO character.
Yeah, it's okay character here. So for this matchup specifically, okay. All right, hold on. There we go. So it's Amethyst versus like Rad. I know his name's Rad for short, but I wanted to say the full name. Okay, it's Radicles, like Hercules, Rad. Okay. This matchup, I mean, not gonna lie, I kind of vibe with it. Yeah, I like both series and what was it? At least both of the creators. Was it Rebecca Sugar and Ian, right? Rebecca Sugar created Steven Universe. Ian created OKKO, and they're both married. Okay, so they both kind of have similar vibes. It's kind of a vibe matchup. I was like, okay, like these two characters have similar vibes. I'd like to see them clash. And also OKKO was like crossed over Steven Universe and. I think it was I forgot what the crossover was called, but like had Ben 10 in it or something like that. And Garnet was in it, like interacting with KO, and it was a pretty cool vibe, like both series can have. So I like to see at least these two characters like interact in fisticuffs, and they don't have to die. We could just, especially like
does this blue alien guy have?
Yeah, I know. Amethyst is like the whip, the shape shifting, and all that. So it's just telekinesis. Why does he look so ripped?
I think it's the joke of the series. Even though he has telekinesis, he's just ripped. Even though he gets like bodied like physically by everybody, essentially. If they ever get their hands on him, he just gets destroyed. But his telekinesis is pretty strong. Okay, but yeah, that's like his main gist. Amethyst, she's just like, I think with the gems are just like living projected light or something, and she can just summon like a whip, like make an explosion, do like a sonic spin dash like with her hair. And a lot of different stuff like that, you know. And
I was just say, out of Steven Universe's characters to cover, I think Amethyst is probably one of like my preferred. She's fun.
Yeah, like Amethyst is a pretty like fun character to get around, and I think these two would just kind of just vibe and like be sassy toward each other in like in a fight or something like that. So that's why this match was pretty cool. You know, like definitely like this one. This one pretty good. Gives a jobber seal of approval.
Is it the thematics people like about this then? I guess I'm just not understanding.
It's more so of a vibe like
It's just a
type
vibe
of
matchup.
Yes, like it's more so type of vibe matchup, especially with like I mean there could be like similar like basic comparisons like Steven with like KO, right? How essentially let's say Radicles, I think Enid, I think that's
Yeah,
the ship with the purple name, basically kind of like supporting figures towards the kid, right? Help him grow up to like basically be like the best, like I guess hero, right? Similar with like how the crystal gems like kind of like have with like Steven, like hey, like so you could be like essentially the best crystal gem ever, right? Something like that. Basic like through a basic connection, right? And these was Amethyst and Radicles kind of share the like kind of vibe. Like we're like, yeah, we're just like chilling here. Like, right, we're not taking anything so serious, right? They're pretty like laid back and well, and their abilities are, I guess, very flexible to say. With the the whips, like and the telekinesis, being able to actually just, I think it's this is pretty. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Has anyone seen like Hunter x Hunter, like Hisoka's like bungee gum, or, like has properties of rubber and gum, like or something like that? It's kind of like that too, right? So, yes.
That was the most nonchalant anyone has ever quoted that line. I'm just telling you right now. Usually people really exaggerate. It's like it's both bubble and gum. Oh shit, I fucked up the line. Whatever. You know what I mean.
Spongy gum.
Yeah, like yeah, just like of course I have to say the line if I got to bring up like Hunter x Hunter. I have to. It's like necessary.
That's a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of mine. You can recognize it by the trash thumbnail. So
there's pieces of his head missing on the left hand side, but that's okay. We stay in it.
Be nice to me. I mean, this is going to leave a matchup of the day. So, for those who don't know, this is Jean-Luc Picard versus Grand Admiral Thrawn. Star Trek versus Star Wars, a tried and true combo at this point, in my opinion.
Don't know
this
how it hasn't happened.
Yeah, tell me about it. This is a really thematic matchup. So the idea of this is like they're iconic spaceship commanders, famous for their intellect, charisma, strategical integrity, and their deep admiration for like art and culture within their world. There's a lot of connections that go into like their appearances, their relationships, their status growing up, and them in their respective like empires, I guess. The main thing that I'm looking forward to this is a spaceship battle. Obviously, they both have pretty prominent spaceships. Jean-Luc Picard has the SS Enterprise, and Grand Admiral Thrawn has the Chimera, which is like a Star Destroyer. Mm-hmm. This would include quite literally as much as you can for both. So, like supplementary ships, like the Chimera has a TIE fighters on board. All their troopers, their respective crew members that they have. Basically, it's just these two having a philosophical conversation while planning out really complex battle tactics. I don't know who wins. It's really debatable considering what both have. Thrawn is a much better like physical fighter. He's able to like keep up with like Magna Guards in combat and stuff who are like faster than light, while Picard very much just doesn't throw hands. But they're both like tactical geniuses in their own ways, and their ships are crazy. If like the Enterprise has anything that like I know it to have, like there are like missiles that like travel through time to hit you in the future. If Picard has any of that going on, he probably beats Thrawn. Yeah, I just really like this one, and I really want to cover Star Trek on this show, which will become very apparent very quickly when it comes to space matchups.
I am a heavy supporter of this matchup. I think this is one of the top contenders for me.
when I think of Star Wars matchups, it's usually like lightsaber or Jedi or whatever, and it's nice to have one that's not like this guy can use the Force to destroy entire star systems, and whatever you said in that last Star Wars cast, it's like disintegrated a planet or something like that. It's like,
Check out Nihilus versus Xenos on the fan battle cast.
It's nice that it's more down to earth, whereas it's like blasters, shooty, commanders, whatever. Instead
Yeah,
of like,
it's also.
You
I
say
think
down to
grabbing
earth.
from the
Both
other
these
side.
guys use spaceships.
I will say, I will say this isn't a Jedi free matchup. Thrawn does have a Jedi that he uses, like forced and bound, but he uses it for like, you know, like how Jedis have like precognition.
mm-hmm.
He uses the precognition for like space travel and battle tactics. Instead of like, this guy's gonna get up mid-battle and crush the Enterprise, you know? Yeah. Like that would be way too out of character for everybody, including Thrawn.
Is this lizard on his shoulder just like aesthetic, or is this an actual thing he has?
It's his pet. He has like a pet.
He just carries
To my
around a
knowledge.
pet lizard.
Yeah, I mean the
You
Chimera is
wouldn't?
the Chimera is a really big ship. It has like, I think it has like thousands of troopers on, with like varying types of like scientists, officers. Same thing with the Enterprise, mind you. The Enterprise is like a Discovery starship.
If I do this right, Crystal is now tiny and on my shoulder. So
Like,
Yeah.
it's just like the image.
I also think another thing
Yes.
another
Let's
thing is
go.
like this is basically the only time we would be able to explore human level legend stuff. Legends is known for like its big Luke mind hacks everything, you know? Obi-Wan mind hacks the Dark Nexus. Thrawn is like a purely Legends character. They are slowly introducing back into canon with stuff like Ahsoka.
Yeah.
But as long as we don't have to use legend scaling.
I think this matchup would shockingly be not even as expensive as some other matchups to make because it would be in space, so that's black background. I think like it would mostly be like a couple of spaceships, and we would reuse a lot of like the same assets over and over again. So I think it actually
You would
It'd
probably
be a lot
have
of
to like
talking
design
over combat.
interiors and stuff. Like the interiors,
Interiors
of
would
the
be
ships,
the-
yeah.
roughest part. Really, I think the only thing you would have to like do for interiors is like the bridge of the Enterprise, and then
Yeah.
like the Chimera bridge.
I think you
Anything
can kind
else?
of like fudge that a little bit. Like
You could like change a couple of things here and there and just use the same interior.
even like Death Battle when they do like Megazord fights has made the interiors very like simplistic.
That's true.
Yeah, it does have to be complex because the main selling point is these two having a conversation essentially.
Yeah. Also, the Enterprise inside is pretty basic anyway. It's like chairs and a few consoles. And the Chimera, I don't think we've actually seen the inside of it. We may have seen it in Ahsoka, but I don't remember it being a lot.
Yeah, so you could just like make it more simplistic because again, the selling point is just these two talking.
Well,
Yeah.
commanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my matchup. The first of two Ridley matchups we will talk about today because Ridley's a pretty fun character.
You're double dipping on Ridley.
I like
Yes.
this one.
Wolf O'Donnell versus Ridley. This is kind of a spaceship fight if you look at it from a certain angle. Ridley himself is the spaceship. So this is to explain the fight dynamic because that's interesting. I think you can have both like a ground fight and a space fight because Wolf has like the weaponry to fight Ridley on the ground, but he can also like just kind of summon his vehicles, which would include his like Wolf Wing, at which point he can take the fight into space, which Ridley can match because he can like fly through space and do like his Smash Bros. Final Smash fighting spaceships. So I think like it matches like the level of Star Fox very well because it can be both a ground fight and a spaceship fight, which can be hard for some Star Fox fights to do both of those. I also think like connection wise it's pretty solid. They're both like iconic sci-fi Nintendo villains. Wolf has similarly killed Fox's dad, has been like a constant thorn in Fox's side. And I think like it's just very like a straightforward, very solid matchup for us to do for these guys.
I'll be honest, which is never a good sentence for me to usually start with. I'll be honest, I would be really down to do this. This is probably my favorite idea I've come across for Ridley. I think being able to play into like, he's this fucking space terror, you know? Playing off of like what Wolf can do with like his spaceship and stuff. This really appeals to me. I feel like Star Fox is one that would be cool to do for us, although.
Yeah, I think
Has
just
anyone-
covering Star Fox would be really cool.
Has anyone done it? No, it's Fox versus Bucky way back in the day. I think it's the only one though.
The Smash
Yeah, that's
Bracket
the
has
only
done
one.
Yeah.
Smash
a
Bracket
couple of
has.
Star Fox episodes.
Yeah.
Hey, I liked Wolf versus Incineroar.
Star Fox is like one of the most powerful verses according to how they do it.
It is still a really powerful verse, and I wouldn't actually be surprised if Wolf won this.
Yeah.
We could
I
like
don't-
recreate this matchup in like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like
I,
just play the game.
Just have them fight in Ultimate, and you call that
Because
the
I-
animation.
I would
Exactly.
imagine that Wolf's ship is able to match Ridley in stats, and being in his ship kind of fucks up Ridley's main thing of like phase on, right?
Yeah.
Good luck infecting me with phase on. I've got the windscreen on.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Star Fox Assault, yeah, he should get a ship.
Yeah.
It depends on how it works, because Phazon just goes through shit most of the time. Like, it just goes through walls and whatever. So,
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
yeah, that was part of the thing with, like, Smash Bracket. When Link fought Ridley, it was like, he can hit the shield, but it'll just go past the shield and hit him anyway. Like, it doesn't really matter. But if he has, like, some kind of, like, electronic shielding over his ship, it probably wouldn't go through that.
Yeah, we'd
because
have to analyze the technology
Yeah.
in Star Fox. To see
Analyzing
what it's got.
Phazon is really interesting. As all of you know, I'm a big Metroid fan. I don't think Metroid gets as high as stats as Star Fox, if I'm personally honest. I think a lot of Metroid matchups where they win is more like Phazon is busted or they have really good equipment or hacks.
I
Um,
feel like there is something in Star Fox that would be a counter, but I can't remember what it is.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have some like.
Yeah.
It's
weird-
it's either in Adventures or Assault. One
I
of
wouldn't
those
be
two.
surprised if they have like. I have a shield that nothing can go through. They go, well, fuck you then.
I like this matchup more than I like Ridley's other opponent, which is that
We'll
Ben
get
10 guy, because Vilgax.
Oh,
'Cause
Vilgax.
Vilgax.
Yeah, Vilgax.
I just think Vilgax kind of just like stomps him to the ground, buries him, and then like fucking walks away in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, we just got stopped nerfing Metroid.
But
Yes.
this one's very fun, I think.
Also-
and
also-
Vilgax has a better Metroid
I was gonna say,
pairing with Ravenbeak.
yeah, just have him fight Ravenbeak.
Yeah. Which also probably gets stomped to the ground, buried, and then walks away. But
Oh yeah, no, he fucking destroys Ravenbeak.
Yeah, but at least that's more interesting.
yeah, thematically, it's really interesting. I like this matchup. I didn't like it at first, but the more Sherm explained it, I liked it a little more. Because at first, when I looked at it, I was like, they have nothing alike. The rival of Star Fox versus the guy that slaughtered fucking Samus's whole lineage. But then it was like, oh yeah, I guess Wolf did kill
Did he?
Fox's family.
I thought
Yeah.
that was Andros.
Well, I
It
believe
was
Wolf
Andros
was
via Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf
Ah.
was following Andros' orders. Which
Yeah.
is why in a Fox in space, it was like a kind of a
Wolf
big
and
detail.
Andros have the funniest alliance because it's like you want to be known throughout the galaxy. I'm trying to take over the galaxy. Want to work for me? Yeah, sure. Works for me.
He pays me.
And then, oh god.
Whoa. Oh, this matchup right here. Okay. So this is really the introduction. It is the classic Isaac Clarke versus Gordon Freeman. Okay, Dead Space versus Half-Life. Okay.
What expression is Gordon making here?
It's
He really
it's-
has
it's-
to poop. He was
This is
currently
my face
finding the
when I stub my
bathroom.
toe in the morning.
That is an expression of a highly trained professional. Okay, look at that face. He's highly trained. Okay, and oh my god, look at Isaac. He's horrifying with that Dead Space 2 suit. Listen, I'm gonna stop. But so like this matchup, okay. There's so much fun stuff that can be had with this matchup. Like imagine this like well, I mean, I think recently there was a whole fan animation like just around this
Yeah,
matchup. Where,
someone
like,
just
they're
said it in
fighting
the
and stuff.
comments. It's Gene Arthur. Gene Arthur did an animation for it.
Not just Gene Arthur. I think there's another person that did like a whole
Yeah, another person did.
Oh, really?
amalgamation of anime.
I never
Yeah.
heard of it.
Like it was like really good. It was like the most anime horror like thing I've ever seen, and I don't know why it was like so anime, but I think just these two characters interacting where I could imagine like Isaac, he is just so like paranoid, of course, because this marker, right, it's messing with his head, or he's just already going through the effects of what he went through before, and you just this guy like in this suit he's never seen before. He's like, yo, like, are you real? This guy's like not even talking. This whole fight he doesn't talk at all. Even if you heard him, it's kind of scary. But I could that goes that. But anyways, I could imagine. Well, imagine like them having like a kinesis and like gravity gun fight where like they have a power struggle, them interacting with their environments, and like Isaac MacGyvering whatever like gun he can create or something like that. And I think Gordon just kind of just low key not out or farming Isaac. I don't know. What's your thoughts on this?
Somebody had asked. I'm surprised that this wasn't the one on the Halloween poll. There's two reasons for that. One, Half-Life doesn't really go into the kind of aesthetic that I'd want out of an Isaac Clarke matchup, and I feel like Signalis does. So you can keep like a whole horror thematic throughout the entire fight and have it still feel natural. And two, because it would have just won, and then the poll thing would have not been fun because we would have just had one matchup that would just win the entire thing. The same reason
That's
why
the
Ash
reason
versus
why.
Frank wasn't on there because
Yes.
because we were
That would have
well,
won.
if we put it on
Yeah.
there, it's like here's 11 weeks just so you can find the obvious winner right at the end. But now we don't.
Coffee
know who's gonna
babies
win.
versus.
I genuinely don't know
also-
what's gonna win so far.
Me too.
I would also want to do the one on the Halloween poll. I've literally just started playing Signalis after my friend told me it was. My friend described it as lesbian ultra kill. Like, okay, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe color scheme wise, I would not refer to it as lesbian ultra kill, especially since
In terms of like aesthetic, yeah.
Okay, yeah, aesthetic, yeah, I get it. Signalis, I played it 2 years ago, and we usually do, me and my friends do rankings to like what's the best game we played this year, and that won the game of the year for me out of like 20 or 30 games or something. I was like, that's so fucking good. And I don't usually
Signalis
play
is
games
good.
like that. I don't play survival horror like that at all, or resource management games, but it's just so well done. Also, oh, never mind, that's a spoiler for never mind. I was about to spoil the end of the game.
Yeah.
Hold on. But we're not talking about that matchup. We're talking about this matchup. I played only Half-Life 1. I played Dead Space 1 and 2, and the one that's the Wii one. I can't remember the name of it. Half-Life 1 I have a strange relationship with because the whole game's really solid, but I really suck at it. And I spent over 4 hours on the final boss because I didn't realize how you had to fight it, and I kept wasting all of my ammo. So that's all I really know about Half-Life. I know 2 is where people really say it gets good, though. But I've never played it, so I don't know.
2 is considered like one of the best games of all time.
Yeah.
Very good dystopian horror.
I also don't know who wins because of this.
I think it's a close matchup from what I've heard.
I think it's close. My gut's telling me Isaac, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gordon won.
Like so far, like at least so far, consensus is like Isaac. That's so far. That's the consensus is for at least the match. It's like it's mainly like due to just Isaac has so the first part, like the stats, right? Really important. Like either like at first they kind of like started out like relative, and then like Isaac kind of like got some like buffs, like speed buffs, like people looking more like, oh, this Twitcher like I don't know dodge plasma thing really fast, or the Dead Space remake giving like some ridiculous speed buff, like Isaac being able to move in tandem with lasers or something, and then like Isaac being able to tank an asteroid, like or something. It's crazy stuff, right? But it also boils down to like, okay, Isaac has some pretty crazy hacks that Gord just genuinely does not have an answer to. Like if the dude gets to stasis, it's pretty much over. And the kinesis, like the argument of kinesis and the gravity gun, like which is better? Like some people side more towards kinesis. At least that's what the current
that they have seen for this matchup is.
Does the gravity gun actually, like, is it just kind of like, oh, 0 gravity, you're now floating and I can shoot you easy? Or does it do something else?
The gravity gun for like Gordon, all it does is it just picks up things. It's just it's just exactly like Isaac's kinesis model. Like all it does is just pick up things and fire at people, pretty much, right? That's what it does. And the comparison,
Does Gordon have anything to contend with stasis? Because I feel like that's a pretty big factor.
He unfortunately doesn't, but there's really scary things that Gordon does have that makes this fight like kind of scary for Isaac. It's like Gordon does have 3 weapons that just negate durability. Like they would literally one-shot Isaac regardless of how like tough Isaac is, essentially, right? And Isaac only has like, I guess, 1, and it wouldn't even work on Gordon because Gordon like resists like whatever Isaac's gonna try to shoot at him. But Gordon at least has those 3 things in it, those 3 guns in his arsenal that just negate durability. If they touch Isaac, he's gone, pretty much, right? Well, Isaac has to kind of just work to just take down Gordon, and if he gets it's kind of like, I guess, who do you think's gonna get their stuff off and like land it first? Like either Isaac or Gordon. Like Isaac with the like stasis, then pop, 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 done, get him out of here. Or like Gordon just comes in with like the highly trained professional, like subatomic deatomization. You're dead as shit, Ray. You know, like you don't know, like.
I would say at that point, that's a speed debate, if you ask me. If one guy has something that could just disintegrate you with 1 shot, I feel like it's just a speed debate at that point. Could he get the shot off before Isaac can just kind of just tear off his limbs with the whatever the gun's called? I like it. It's interesting. It wasn't on the poll because it would have won, but I like it.
I like this matchup because I think it will make us a lot of money.
Hell yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway, Bender versus Roger. This is one of the ones that I picked from the Discord because I really, really like this. I think if you've seen either of these shows, the thematics are pretty... Like, these aren't really characters you need thematics for. Just kind of criminal, egotistical side characters who are, I mean, lovable in their own ways. I just think this is a really fun one. The dialogue potential between Bender and Roger is off the charts.
The dialogue would be hilarious between these 2.
And like they both genuinely have some really insane abilities and feats. Like I remember there's one for Roger where he's like able to move so fast, like time is slowed, and fake his own death when like a truck is like hitting it. Futurama is one of my favorite adult comedies ever. And you know, space themed. I would love to cover it in some way, and I feel like this is just the matchup to do so.
I just started Futurama just specifically because Saul likes it, so I don't know who this
It's a really
is.
good show. It's really
American
good.
Dad.
American Dad.
Roger is the alien who lives in the attic of the Smith family. He's just kind of an asshole.
No, he's bitchy. In fact, his race, if he's not being bitchy enough, he just starts dying.
Wait, really?
Yeah, really.
If he's not a dick enough to start dying.
like he's on his deathbed saying the reason why I'm dying is because I stopped being bitchy. And everyone's like, really?
I was like, be bitchy, be bitchy. He's really fun. He has like his whole thing is that he has different disguises, and like some of his disguises straight up change his personality. I forget the one. There's one that he puts on and he becomes like a genuine like serial killer.
Whoa.
God dang.
What can they actually do in terms of fight though? Or because I feel like Bender, I'm still in season 1, but he's just kind of pathetic. Like he bends things, but he doesn't really do much.
He gets a lot more later on. He himself is able to like create fire. He gains some hand-to-hand knowledge. He's able to duplicate himself. He can manipulate his size. He is able to time travel and like bend time. He's able to
bend time.
Yeah,
Yes.
even though
Yes.
I mean, like quite literally, he grabs like a piece of like this time portal thing and bends it.
That bending chip is insane.
All right.
He's able to
Isn't Bender
fly.
just incredibly strong in general?
Yeah. He's able to hack people, like possess electronics. He's able to fire lasers, fly, manipulate matter, create water, transform into things. He can remove souls. He in an episode he gets a photo of Landon Cobb, who is like this guy, and if anybody looks at it, their soul gets removed from their body.
I gotta.
And you know the math checks out too. Like the math will check out with Bender.
In terms of what Roger can do, I already said about his space stuff. About his he's able to amplify his like abilities to kill people with drugs. He's able to manipulate electricity. He made a sniper rifle from twigs, a rock, and some bubble gum.
The fuck?
Yeah.
American Dad's wild.
He's able to like create toxic gas, gain other people's memories, enter people's dreams, and regenerate his body. If I remember correctly, and I'm going to double check this right now, I'm pretty sure he has a pretty insane feat. Yeah, he has a feat where he survives an explosion that spread across the globe, which gets to like 4.5 exatons of TNT.
All right. So Bender, can he bend that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Just assume Bender can bend it.
Futurama stats get crazy later on.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that shit. I just want to point out before we get into this, I got a YouTube notification and I opened it. Just somebody liked my reply, and so I was like, "Oh, what reply is it?" It was to Jobber's Sam and Max versus Banjo-Kazooie fan-made trailer, and I had commented on it. "You have betrayed me, Jobber." And somebody asked me what. Somebody asked me what did he do, and all I said was he betrayed me.
Well, are you gonna explain now, or are you just gonna make more people confused?
It's because it's not the matchup he likes for Banjo and Kazooie.
Correct. It was like 2 days after I was like, listen, I really like this matchup. I would love to do it. And then 2 days later, he puts that shit up. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Jobber,
Right.
you traitor.
It was
I'm
like
gonna-
the Mufasa scene in like Lion King. He's like, "I got you," he's like, "Ah!" or something like that. I don't know.
I will be right back. I'm just gotta step away real quick, but I feel like there's gonna be a discussion about this that does not need me. So I'll
go
be
first.
right back.
You go first.
This matchup has inspired a lot of discussion before the video because there are a lot of positive and negative impressions of this matchup. I'm going to explain why I thought the matchup was cool, and then Saul will explain why I'm wrong, because Saul has actually experienced Guilty Gear, and I just know it from connections online. So why I think Venom versus Zato is cool is that they're both kind of like, they start off as like villains, but then like they become better because they want to redeem themselves. The main like theme connection for this is they're both humans that are in a symbiotic connection with this dark, shadowy, goopy entity, which would obviously be Eddie Brock with his symbiote, and it would be the human Zato who is bonded with like the shadow being that is also named Eddie, funnily enough. And they both have this like relationship with this symbiotic entity, and they have these like moments of like who's in more control, the symbiote or the human, who is like controlling them, who's influencing and making these decisions for real. Eventually, after they just really do a lot of bad shit, they try to do better, and so they try to have more control over their symbiotic connection, both by further developing the connection, but also maintaining a higher level of self-control and over their actions. And it's become a point where they can't exist without the symbiote anymore. Like if they're separated, they suffer like significant consequences. And I think that overall it just is a matchup that makes a lot of sense on the tin. And I always thought this was always in contention for me for one of the best options for a Venom episode. And I think it's extremely cool. Why am I wrong?
This matchup, so fucking no. I'm actually gonna try and be nice here. This is probably one of the worst matchups for both. Arguably the worst matchup for Venom, but I've seen some shit for him, and I honestly probably think Bane is worse because Venom. This genuinely lacks all proper thematics between the two, apart from kind of Eddie is the symbiote and Eddie is the guy from Marvel. It makes some really weird comparisons, like comparing Eddie's life as a reporter to like Zato's one as like an Assassin's Guild leader, which is really strange to me. It genuinely has like like you said a few wrong things as well with your description of the symbiote relationship, by the way.
Okay.
Like Venom and Eddie from Marvel are like they're friends eventually, right? They really, really care about each other.
Yeah.
That's not the same. Zato is actually like Zato is dead. Eddie kills him.
Mm.
And like it's a pretty significant thing that he kills him, and he is currently puppeting his body.
Mm.
Like trying to compare that with the actual friendship that you have going on between Eddie and Venom is just strange, you know? You're comparing a very close and personal friendship between this guy is puppeting a literal corpse to fight.
All right.
It also misses the biggest part, like the entire part of Zato's motivation. It's basically in Guilty Gear. There is a character called Miller Rage, who is like a former former member of the actual Assassin's Guild, and she is the entire motivation of why like Zato, because like Zato is dead for years. He might come back. I don't think he does. I might be wrong. But like Zato's whole thing about wanting to change and stuff is to do entirely with her. And you have no comparisons with that. The analysis writing would be like, also like, yeah, so contrast. The contrast can't just be, oh, these guys like each other and these guys hate each other. Contrast matchups like actually work when the contrast is interesting. I'm going to give you an example of one of my favorite contrast matchups, Go versus Zamazu. One of the best contrast matchups out there, because it specifically compares their relationship with like gods and godhood and stuff, and how one of them really hates it and had basically everything taken away because of that godhood, and the other individual, like, you know, like Zamazu's whole thing is like, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not knowledgeable as I am on Go, but his whole thing is like he gets his powers back. But like, back to this one, it's like there's no contrast there apart from well they hate one hates and one likes. Like having no comparison to the entire reason why Zato wants to have that development and become a better person is terrible.
So what is his motivation? Just to like, what is his motivation?
It's like to become, I think from my understanding of it, is to become like a better person. And the whole, like his entire motivation around that is like his growth into a different individual. Because, okay, he does get revived. I misremembered that. His entire growth is centered around her. And having no thematic comparison to that is genuinely terrible.
Wait, who's her?
I already said Miller.
So his desire is to become a better person because of Milla.
Yeah, he wants
to. He just likes her.
I'm pretty sure he's like really close to her. Basically, his entire motivation is like to redeem himself for his murders, as he like regains his emotions, because he gets killed and then he gets revived, and now he's got to do all this stuff. Like he lost all of his emotions when he comes back. That has no comparison with Venom and Eddie.
I mean, it kind of does, because he's
not
like,
really.
Venom's trying to like be a better person now. He's like, all right, I was going a little too crazy there. Let me try to be a better lethal protector kind of thing.
I mean, maybe for a while, but I feel like it feels way different here. It's just kind of, this matchup is just kind of based on, well, they like look similar, and they have a symbiote, and the symbiote is called Eddie, and that's funny. Miller is the one who gave him his like true emotions back when he like died, came back. She's the one who gave him like his true emotions, which is like, you know, his motivation to becoming a better person.
So does he actually care about being a better person, or does he do it because he feels like he owes it to her?
No, he genuinely cares. It's just that motivation starts with her. I think the fight is like okay, but I don't think you can get into anything with this fight with King in Black. Which King in Black is like the single most important fucking thing Venom has done since his like prior 2 episodes on Death Battle. Especially with King in Black being like a big cosmic scale fighter, when he's like, you know, charging into Null and slamming him into the sun.
Okay.
I think this is a neat matchup that is better than Venom versus Shadow.
Versus.
I wouldn't even go that far. I genuinely think this is I just thought that was an awful one. Awful.
Venom vs. Shadow touches on nothing about fucking Shadow that is enjoyable. And they're just like, they played the new game, they saw that he has goopy powers that changes his body, they're like, just like Venom! And then they're like, okay, put them together. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah,
just have it with an Eminem soundtrack. It's all good.
Genuinely don't understand why people push it Zato vs. Venom, apart from the guy, Zato's symbiote is called Eddie. Isn't that really funny and quirky?
I think you're really focusing on that. I think that's just like a funny side.
That was like that was like a major thing for a while.
Well, I wasn't there for that. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
we got another match to talk about.
Ratchet versus Rocket. This is not the first time these have been on here, but it will be the last. No, I'm kidding.
We're bringing it back for the next cast.
I think this matchup is really interesting, especially what I've been learning with how durability works in Ratchet and Clank a little bit more, just because I want to know more about the matchup I pitched at Death Battle of all fucking things. The nanotech system is very interesting, so even if they're... I think we clarified last time that Ratchet's AP probably isn't hitting Rocket's, right? Even if you highballed Ratchet to star level, I think Rocket probably still is past that.
And Groot should be past that physically.
Yeah. But I think Ratchet's durability and some of his weapons that could bypass durability make things a little more interesting, and Clank's unnatural like way of fighting. I guess if you want to have a lot of fun with it, you can kind of combine how Clank fights in multiple games, where he can have like a mini army that he leads into battle essentially, and then he can also probably have his time scepter. That I don't know. I
say a very small funny thing visually is like we've got 3 really short people and then this big fucking tree towering over everyone. It's like a fight. Like looking at that as a fight is so funny. It's like holy shit, Groot is like running up to them and throwing hands.
I am not familiar with how Groot is in the comics. Is he like how he is in the movies at all?
Yeah, he's similar. Yeah,
because
he has a lot of the same things.
It seems like from the movies, he's like a big guy, but he's not very smart. But he's like super strong. It takes a lot to kill him.
He's like genuinely, like really smart. He is described as having like genius level intellect, and he was able to help a guy called Maximus make something known as the relativistic feedback loop, which was able to uncreate an entire reality. So
Ratchet dies. Anyway,
I don't think this is fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Ratchet probably loses, which is sad for me. Even if you give him like the possibility, I'm gonna say it in air quotes because I have not confirmed the numbers, of having close to universal durability, I think they could probably still dish out more than that and probably still kill him. But I think it's interesting.
At least Rocket's weapons would.
mean, I think with this matchup though, like I'm not sure if this is a hot take, but at least from what I've seen, it seems like I think Groot kind of just hard carries like Rocket. I mean, it feels like Rocket just Rocket up against Ratchet and Clank. I'd be siding more of like Ratchet and Clank. They got a lot more stuff, wackier stuff to like throw at that like the animal. But with like Groot there, that's Groot's got some pretty good stuff. Yeah, like I'm making a whole reality. That's kind of nuts. Like I don't know.
Is Groot weak
He's
to
gonna be
fire?
the MVP.
I think fire's going to do a lot to him. He
Ratchet's
does have
got a
really
million
good.
fire weapons, so that
He
can
does
help.
have really good regeneration though.
Or the tree.
The lava gun about to fuck him up, and then halfway through the fight, it's gonna evolve to the magma gun and not be fun to use anymore. Anyway, I'm waiting for Saul. Please say something. This is
Oh,
your matchup.
sorry. Yeah, I did not notice we had changed. Sorry. So
Come on, we're
that was
professionals here.
yeah, that was entirely my fault. So this is Sinestro versus the Fallen. Everybody knows about Sinestro at this point. Yellow Lantern leader, ex Green Lantern member who got kind of checked out, blah, blah, blah. The Fallen is someone who people might not recognize. His first appearance is actually in the Revenge of the Fallen movie. You know, like the Michael Bay one. But he has the same...
I've never seen the Michael Bay movies. I'm not gonna lie to you.
he has the same like singularity thing that a Unicron has, because he's one of the first like 13 of the Autobots that were created by is it Primus? I get the name wrong all the time. He's one of the first 13 and got kind of like dragged down by Unicron and stuff, and his face is like the symbol of the Decepticons.
Oh,
He is the symbol of the Decepticons. So
I did
he has
not know
multiple
that.
he has multiple continuities. So he obviously has the live action movies. He has but his main thing is like the IDW comics. This matchup is kind of focusing on what I think is the most important part of Sinestro's character, is his tragedy. The tragedy of these two individuals who once tried to be good and got pulled into darkness. Sinestro has a lot of different powers, from being a Yellow Lantern, creating constructs, like intangibility, some soul manipulation stuff, dimensional travel. The Fallen can actually keep up with basically all of this. He has like weapons capable of destroying like countries. He's able to teleport like around. He is capable of creating fire. He has like levels of precognition. He has multiple designs, by the way. This is like his most iconic.
It's the coolest one. That looks sick.
He's able to transfer, like travel himself from universe to universe, and he also has a subspace pocket dimension that he pulls weapons out of. He's able to revive other Cybertronians for his own need, which leads into a very cool, like, not army fight, but, you know, like in the background, we could have, like, Yellow Lanterns fighting Cybertronians, while we have this be the main center fight. You know, like Ultron Sigma? This would basically be like that. He's able to regenerate, like, parts of him. He's able to destroy the sparks of Transformers, which needs, like, existence erasure stuff. But arguably, like, Lanterns are busted and might be able to resist that, you know?
Didn't they resist the whole the universe getting rewritten in like Flashpoint or something like that? Or is that just a select few
one
people?
of the. I think a select few did.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I want to hear what people think, and if they have any questions about it.
I would
makes
love
a
to
lot
do
of
a
sense.
Transformers matchup.
Seems decent.
That's my opinion.
I
think
don't know
as far
something
as,
about
like,
Transformers. I am not a showrunner.
as far as high-end Transformers versus DC matchups go, there's a couple with that series pairing. I think this is the one that interests me the most. This is the one that seems like it has the coolest power interactions. I think what sounds like it has the closest debate as well. And I just, in general, it kind of does anything I would want with this type of a matchup. And I'm like, I'm down.
you could have the fight like move from the planet that they're on into like the dimension where the Fallen was banished to, and have a really cool thing where like the Fallen is very much trying to banish Sinestro into the same world that he is, attempting to corrupt the ring, and have obviously Sinestro do his oath to either break it or the oath isn't enough. The ring gets shattered and Fallen just obliterates him. Again, I think this is really close.
I think it'd be cool if like we could Sinestro would like seal Fallen away in his. I think that'd be a cool way to do it.
Yeah, you could also have that happen. I think this is really cool.
I think if Sinestro does win, like what I'd like to see is like let's say after he like seals his ring, right? Then like it basically like Sinestro just basically I guess teleports back to like the old Ensign Corps as they all chant Sinestro, Sinestro as he's like has his fist up in the air, has his cape on and shit.
There's a you could have him like take out the spark of you could have him take out the spark of the Fallen and use that as like a at the end.
Yeah.
But I see this in chat as well. Someone saying they're more of a Sinestro versus Belial guy. That's also a really good matchup. Sinestro versus Belial is really cool. I'm just not an Ultraman guy.
I was gonna say I don't know who Belial is.
He's like an Ultraman villain. He's one of the main ones. He is a similar vibe to these two. I've seen these characters pitted like Ultra Belial fitted in like 1v1v1.
Yeah, it's a matchup triangle.
It's a triangle, and it's a really good one because they're all like people who used to be good before being fallen and corrupted. Hey, fallen!
So what you're saying is this would be a really good three-way matchup.
Yeah, I would love to do it.
Do the Office thing where it's like I say that, then I'm like.
I think if we ever want to do a three-way, this triangle might be a bit expensive. We should look to other more grounded matchups for a three-way.
I would rather just like pick one, and this would be my preferred. I want to do Transformers. I started to love Transformers, which is funny because it was a verse. I was like, Transformers, I'm never gonna get into that. And then everyone's like, hey, this is really cool. I'm like, fuck, it is.
I think it's probably my favorite Transformers matchups. The ones that have been done, apart from Galactus versus Unicron, I don't think I even liked the matchups.
Yeah, the matchups are really bad.
Starscream versus who? Oh god, Pinkie Pie? No,
Yeah,
Rainbow Dash is not good. Optimus versus Amuro as a big Gundam guy is kind of weird and presents things really weirdly on Gundam's end. And
yeah, let's use the weakest Gundam.
Frieza versus Megatron is I think this one sounds thematic, it sounds debatable, and it sounds fun. I don't know much about DC comics, but I like it.
This Art of Fallen reminds me of Furnace from Starved Eggman.
That is hilarious. I didn't know what that was until someone was trying to pitch it on the Discord, and I looked it up. And I was like, ow, I hate this. Anyway, what is this?
Oh, this
is ours, isn't it?
This is a giant space starfish fighting the full concentrated power of the sun. I like this.
I got the starfish.
This is
I'll put money on that.
Me and Sherm have had me and Sherm have multiple where it's like there's a good SCP opponent for usually like a franchise that I really love, and this is like one of them. Do you want to start with one?
To anyone who doesn't know, this is When Day Breaks SCP-001, otherwise known as Daybreak. The SCP where the sun turns red, and everyone who gets hit by any sunlight, including reflected off the moon, so you're not safe at night, is melted into a pile of flesh that is still living and is now very happy and one with the hive mind of the When Day Breaks sun, fighting Starro from DC Comics, who has a kind of a similar thing going on where they want to put everyone into a big old hive mind with themselves.
Yeah, so Starro's whole deal is like a billion years ago, the lone like mother star like went out into the cosmoses and started to create and give birth to a bunch of these races. which created Starro. Starro is a really early comic character who I love Starro. Starro is so funny. It is a intergalactic life form who is the distant cousin of starfishes, who tries to take mind control of other beings and like make them into their own slaves. It depends from version to version.
Yeah. People are asking how the fight goes down. The general idea for like the crux of the fight is like Starro has come to SCP's version of Earth once this apocalypse has already started. For context, in the When Daybreak stories, like Daybreak has like apocalypse the world like immediately because no one's ready for an attack like this. So there's almost like no human defenses for the most part. It's mostly just a world covered in flesh monsters at this point.
All the shut-ins are going to be so happy about this.
So you can have Starro either hiding in space or at the bottom of the ocean. He's done both. Safe from the sun's light, as like Starro is taking over his piles of flesh with his own star drones or any of the surviving humanoids, and they are going to war with all the flesh monsters, and they're trying all the flesh is intelligent. Like the sun has like consciousness. Some people think it's just an event. The sun has a sentience, so it's the idea of like this sun's sentience trying to fend off this invasion as Starro tries to take over. We could have a lot of interesting discussions over what happens when the sun melts some of the Starro drones, what happens when the Starro drones take over the piles of flesh, because the flesh can be taken over with strong enough telepathy, as we've seen. So,
which should work because Starro's drones have been able to overpower people like Miss Martian and Aquaman.
Yeah, I think this matchup, and this is the space theme, so we could talk about the space aspect, is that both have access to starships, which is funny.
Yeah, I also think Starro is really funny to talk about with an analysis, because when he was in his first comic, when he was fighting Green Lantern, he turned yellow. He turned his whole body yellow because he's a starfish to make sure that Hal couldn't hit him.
Could he turn invisible?
Yeah, he's been able to like make his body transparent and stuff.
That's one way to get through the sunlights, just go straight through you.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of interesting things you can do with this. Starro has like some really powerful hosts. Like we have like Kobe, the strongest Starro, would be cool to include, and we have like some anomalies the sun has taken over, which maintain some of their anomalous properties. I think this fight is extremely cool. My favorite ideas in general.
This also for people being like, not for people being like, but this is a critique that I thought of is like, how would Starro know to hide from the sun before he would get like goopified? Anyone who Starro manages to hit with a starfish, he gains the memories of, and because the sun is and the flesh are like a hive mind, he would know instantly what's going on and being like, oh shit, because Starro is intelligent.
Also, Starro hiding in the ocean isn't like a weird one-off thing. That's like one of his
Did that. Yeah,
main
he does that a
strategies.
lot.
So
he caps it.
The bottom of the ocean's just comfy.
I think this fight starts. Starro was already at the bottom of the ocean planning some strategies. When this happens, he's like, "Oh shit, this changes things."
Is Starro immune to the effects of?
Probably not. There's some arguments where he has.
So
he has like some arguments for transmutation resistance, but the sun's transmutation is like layered.
My question is, even past that, it's like, okay, the starfish is on someone, they get goopified, right? Starro's in the ocean. Wouldn't the starfish also just get goopified? It's part of Starro, and then that starfish would enter the hive mind of When Day Breaks.
The flesh itself doesn't like goopify you just by touching it. You have to be in the sun's light.
Yeah.
And Starros would just have control over the flesh, so they would just put the flesh like over the star so it wouldn't be melted.
Yeah. The star is most commonly seen like covering the face. But that's only because with like humans and stuff and other intelligent species in DC, they have like the brain in their head, you know? The starfish could be embedded inside the flesh.
Okay.
And used as like a protection cover.
My other question would be, the sun, this might sound stupid, but it matters contextually to me. If you're in shade, does it still hit you? Technically the light is still hitting you, it's just not hitting you directly. So would you still get affected if you're hiding in like a house with like a window cracked open or something like
Yeah,
that.
people have to like completely cover things up.
It's kind of vague on the specifics of that because people will go out during the day with like completely covered suits, but also they have goggles on, but they can still see, which would imply like the goggles
There's
aren't
light.
stopping all of the light.
Yeah.
So I think like if the light is bounced around enough, it'll eventually lose its properties. I think it's just the most noble example is like the moonlight hasn't been bounced around enough, I guess. So it doesn't maintain 100% of its potency, I guess. We'd have to analyze that thoroughly to figure out what has to happen before it stops affecting you.
How would they actually fight? It's quite literally just a battle between the non-taken over flesh using the SCPs that he has. Like the Sun has pretty important SCPs like 096 and like
the
God,
deer
isn't it?
is the big
343.
one.
Oh, 343 as well. And what's the deer again?
The deer is like the big one because the deer is like fully under its control. 343 is like resisting it to a certain degree, so it's like it wouldn't be too much help. The deer though is the big one. The deer is probably the most powerful anomaly, has full control over. That's the one that's able to like fight with the Gate Guardian.
Yeah, I also want to say it's not just the starfish that Starro can use to take over people. He has like a microscopic strain that's able to be transmuted through air, water, energy, or physical contact. So even if the starfish don't work, that can work as well.
I think a potential finale of the fight would be like a mental battle where it's like the main Starro. I think like the Starro just on the sun is cool imagery. It's like partially being melted, but the Starro was like mind hacking it at the same time. So it's like which is gonna win first?
This is a really good debate.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue with this is that we probably won't do it anytime soon because there'd be so much to make for it.
Yeah.
But as a matchup, it's
All
just
the
genuinely
money.
probably in my top 10. I love this idea so much.
Saul said he would research it all himself.
Yeah, okay, I could do that.
So somebody made an actual thumbnail for this with the Nebula Theater thing, whatever. But Jobber decided to send me this instead. So Jobber.
What the fuck?
Jobber's gonna take this away.
Look at
This
this.
is Plants vs.
I'm looking. I'm trying to understand, Jobber. So enlighten.
So look, I'm not gonna try to say this makes complete sense or anything, but just it's so crazy. look, so crazy Dave. Okay, from Plants vs. Zombies versus Rick Toffin from COD Zombies. Now, okay, so everyone gonna take it back to the past. Okay, so like this matchup is actually Rick Toffin's legacy matchup. See, now, okay, that's messed up. But basically, why I like this matchup, and I think it'd be kind of funny to do, is, you know, how can I put this? So maybe y'all might know about the modded zombie maps or something like that, but I don't know why. I just feel like this is this type of scenario that would be perfect to just put Rick Toffin for some goddamn reason where he's fighting all these plants and it's like, well, Jobber, how is this fight even close? Like I've seen the medic Rick Toffin death battle cast where like Rick Toffin just like shit stomped him, bro. Like he had a book that he like read some crazy ass cipher and it got him to the 5D or something. Listen, Plants versus Zombies. I've seen things, okay? I've listen. There's a plant that is apparently shoots like Nebula. you think pack a punch weapons are that good? Nah, I'm not. Listen. In concepts, I've been playing that shit since like Quality War at War. I've never seen like a gun shoot a Nebula. All right.
I feel like that image where it's like Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob around the fireplace. It's just Mr. Krabs like saying the most horrendous shit to SpongeBob. He's just scared out of his mind.
I actually know Rick Toffin because I researched him for a blog. So he does actually have weapons that can contend with that. The Gersh device is quite literally a pocket singularity that drags zombies in.
Yeah, like a little singularity, like black hole type of stuff. I think the Gersh device that is definitely one to bring up there too. But
the staffs, the staffs are also really good. The fire staff is capable of banishing all of the souls from Alcatraz Island and defeating the warden. who has like he has some weird higher dimensional stuff going on with him because he's like a construct of the Shadow Man.
So wait, so this would work. It's just you're basically throwing Richtofen in a modded zombies map and telling him have fun as Crazy Dave is just sending out all of these plants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
basically. Yeah, and like I think
Why does that actually sound kind of cool?
Exactly.
And
Like,
Richtofen-
so I saw what this person was cooking, because like, okay, imagine like the idea of like Rick Toffee just like opens a portal into the Plants versus Zombies little map, right? And he's there for Crazy Dave, and it's like he's there for a similar reason, like why he was there in Blood of the Dead. He's like Crazy Dave, I need your blood or whatever, right? And Crazy Dave's like, yeah, play, get him, and first I was like, okay, like the hard way it is, okay, I'm gonna get this dude's blood and stuff or whatever
And
for some.
Richtofen summon zombies.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
So this
depends
would
on
be
the
Plants vs.
timeline.
Zombies, the matchup.
Well, this is judging by the art, I would assume this is Primus. So yeah, he's
Wait,
still
does
good.
Primus summon zombies?
Summoning Key? Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I forgot about that.
Summoning Key literally has all the apothecons in.
Is
Don't
Medic
mind
versus Richtofen just a case of it's really thematic, but one person gets stomped to the ground really hard? 'Cause
Yes.
I can't see.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
I'm
I
not-
can't
I'm
see
not-
how.
Well, it's specifically Primus Richtofen because they have a lot more thematic character connections and all of that. But again, Richtofen still stomps.
I'm as someone who loves these two franchises to death, both are literally childhood ones for me. I'm not a big fan of it. I would rather something more thematic for Richtofen. He's got a really cool personal story of like trying to delay his own death, which again works very well. I know we bring it up a lot, but with medics who will, I attach my souls to myself so I can fight with the devil in the comics. This is just
Yeah.
kind of like this would be a cool fight. I would want something thematically more interesting personally.
Why does the potato thing in the back, the chestnut,
The
have
walnut?
the walnut have the grump face? Anyone notice that?
He looks like that. Yeah, he looks like that.
Yeah.
Does
no,
he
Yeah,
really?
he's just naturally grumpy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The only Plants vs Zombies thing I've experienced within the last 20 years is probably just listening to that song on YouTube when I was a kid. The credit.
Oh, we don't want zombies on our lawn.
Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
really know anything about it, and I have not yet seen the what did you say?
I
The
would
debate club,
recommend-
the debate club on it yet. So
I
Yo,
would recommend the first game. I think it's free.
So the
now,
first
and
game's
it's
good.
really
Yeah,
If
first
you
game's
do
good.
if you do triple sunflower though, you have biblical levels of greed.
This is. I feel like there's a lot of cool. I think I really want to do Call of Duty Zombies because it's like one of my favorite franchises ever, and I really want to do Plants vs Zombies because it's one of my favorite franchises ever. I just don't think this would be the matchup to explore that with personally. I think you can do different ones for both.
you want to see real quick the only Call of Duty game I've ever played? Hold on, it's
No,
right
he's gonna
here.
get like ghosts.
I'm about to judge you
He's
so
either gonna
hard.
get
Let me guess,
he's gonna get ghosts or like Advanced Warfare.
Oh,
right?
I am
Lord.
about to
No.
judge you so
He
hard.
is, isn't he? Right? He's gonna get one of those.
If it's World War
This
II, we're
goes-
gonna have more
It's the only
problems.
one I've ever played.
Oh wait,
that was
oh wait, no,
actually
that's an
good.
OG. That's an
That was
OG.
good.
Okay,
That
Finest
one is
Hour is
good.
pretty.
Okay,
good,
that's
yeah.
good. That's
Yeah,
cool. That's cool.
Good.
We
I-
expected a lot worse from you.
Yeah,
I
no, that's
played-
better. That's way better than what we were expecting.
I've played maybe online versions of other Call of Duties, but I don't really ever play them. But that's the one I played start to finish.
The only Call of Duty game I've played is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Isn't that one like
I do
supposed to be
get
like
the-
really?
That's-
War?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
I do get the appeal. I do get the appeal for behind this, and I do actually think it's pretty cool.
I just realized something of like before we move on, like the menu music for like Plants vs Zombies was like brought up, and I'm just thinking to myself like, imagine if this got a track right. What if there's the combination of the Plants vs Zombies like menu music, where it's like dum 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 dum, like mixed with like the Call of Duty Zombies. I think it's what I think it's called the song is literally called "Damned," where it's like the piano like da 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 da
Yeah.
da. Like that'd be kind of funny actually. I don't know. It's kind of goofy. Like I'm not saying this is
Also-
like the best match for both or anything like that, but
Yeah,
I
It's
like the match
goofy.
about how fun it
It's
is.
fun.
I do want to say, I want to say, shout out to whoever drew this, because like the minor details of like Richtofen having the 2 blood vials on him is like such a missable detail.
yeah.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
good. Yeah.
I wish. Is there? I can't check right now without doxing our entire episode list. But
Oh, oh, oh.
if they credit an artist, please let me know. Unless it was them. Pennywise versus Freddy Wise. Who wins?
Nice. Fred, nice try. This is one that I picked because I really like this one. Classic horror matchup. Pennywise is currently in the spotlight thanks to the Welcome to Derry show, proving that he's actually not a fucking fraud. This is like a really classic Halloween matchup that I would love to do. Freddy is probably my favorite horror movie character ever. I was so obsessed with Nightmare on Elm Street for the longest time. It is good. I want to cover Stephen King in general, and I mean, it is just the most popular one. The fight here is really good. I like what both are able to bring with their like shape shifting. Freddy's like reality warping and creation. Freddy actually isn't like a high scale fighter, nor Pennywise is. So this is relatively like, they're not going to be like busting planets, you know? The best you're going to get is like, I think in the show, there was like a Nightmare on Elm Street show. It was really weird. Freddy does like the Doctor Strangelove nuke ride. Like he's like riding on a nuclear bomb and going down.
What the fuck?
Super Freddy will carry crust. Super Freddy sucks.
So there's a question that might annoy you that I'm about to ask. Do you know what I'm about to ask you?
I'm scared.
Does Freddy even have a way to do anything to Pennywise if you take into account, from what I've heard, that he apparently has... he's like a Arceus type deal where you're only seeing part of it and not the whole entity.
Because the true form is a fucking fraud.
Oh, the true form's the fraud.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, Pennywise's true form, which exists in like the Dark Tower stuff, can't actually interact with Earth. Like it can do nothing. Pennywise has to hit you with the deadlights and pull you to his dimension. But you know what really sucks for that is Freddy can dimensional travel back out. So even if the deadlights catch him, he just travels right back. And there are 2 things with Freddy in terms of that. I mean Pennywise. If you kill the avatar, you know, like the clown form that we're seeing right now, it either shuts down Pennywise enough to where he can't come back for like a few months, or permanently kills the true form. They're like life-linked.
Okay, so
So
it wouldn't
it's
matter.
like-
So as long as he
it's like-
killed... Okay.
It's like an Arceus situation, but imagine if Arceus's true form could do fucking nothing. He genuinely just has to watch until like the avatar maybe hits with the deadlights, and even then Freddy goes like, I'm gonna get out of here, and like runs out the dimension.
Do you have a question
no,
about that?
bitch.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sonic's in the comments said, okay, but what if Sonic comes in and Pennywise gets scared because Sonic never fears the fall? That's the... Dude.
Oh, damn, Sonic.
Yeah, we
Anyway,
So-
Shit, what was your question?
So Freddy has like dimensional travel, but could you make the argument that maybe just like the overall cosmology of the Dark Tower is bigger than anything Freddy has ever traveled out of before?
No, not really, because the dreams within Nightmare on Elm Street are separate dimensions.
Yeah, they're all treated
Well,
as
like, isn't there like the
a-
whole Dark Tower, which is like a whole bunch of
Yeah, I know,
stuff?
I know the Dark Tower is that as well. But Pennywise has been, not Pennywise, Freddy has been shown to travel through higher and lower dimensional values. He's able to like travel to our not our real world, but like a fictionalized version of our real world. You know, which
And I-
should be similar scale to like Dark Tower in terms of like
Like
there's,
it's Stephen King.
Yeah,
something.
it
Can I
Yeah.
make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Instead of using this version of Pennywise, can you use the Tim Curry version
Yeah,
of
no,
Pennywise?
exactly. We would. Yeah, that would be the one we would use in the fight.
Good.
Tim Curry best
I was
Pennywise.
just making sure.
Also, no, we would not need to count rework Freddy. Fuck rework Freddy. Fuck rework Freddy.
You know, for like Freddy Krueger versus Pennywise, this matchup's always been like interesting to me. Like debates I've at least seen over the years always been like back and forth, and with Pennywise, like I kind of like the community disposition on him where it's either, at least from what I see, it's either 50-50, either Pennywise is like the most powerful like fiction soul, like Pennywise, true form Pennywise. He looks at DC, he's like, nah, he just smashes it, like dang, like this is destroyed, done, data. Or Pennywise he's just ass. Right?
Well, I think it's both. Like
I
he's
like-
extremely strong. He just has very
Yeah.
exploitable weaknesses.
Yeah, and like
I
the,
like-
the big. Yeah, what's up, Saul?
No, you go on.
Well, like, because remember, like, a Sherm, he did bring up, like, the Dark Tower size, right? Like, there's a whole big meme with that. I remember I had to quote this person exactly because listen, I'm not sure if, I know Sherm's heard, I'm not sure if y'all ever heard this, but, like, okay, listen. So, the Dark Towers, now listen, I'm going to explain to you why this is not so okay. Listen, the Dark Towers is bigger than something that is conceptually bigger than anything that is bigger than it is. What does that mean? What does that even
What
fucking
the fuck was that
Also,
sentence? I thought you were having a stroke for a second.
Like,
I was
I was
like,
summoning the Dark Towers with that. Like, that's what I heard. Like, that's literally, this is what I hear all the time with Dark Towers. Like, it's bigger. It's something. And it's conceptually bigger. Than something is bigger than it is. I'm like, what the fuck?
like-
so
is that about?
is it just bigger than just the concept of things? Is that what it is?
I
I also want to say about the dimensional travel thing is like when you get hit with the deadlights, you don't instantly meet the true form. You there's time. I think Bill in the books gets hit by the deadlights, and it takes like a few moments before he's able to travel back because of the giant fucking turtle. So I would love a scene where Freddy gets hit by the deadlights. He's getting pulled in. He's like, oh shit, pulls up the Necronomicon and he's like flipping through pages really quickly. Be like, no, like looking up as he gets closer to the true form. Like, no, yes, and then leaves.
I should have bookmarked this page. Should have bookmarked it.
I think I found the perfect GIF for like here. Yo.
Trying to flip
This
through
is
pages with
literally-
his fuck ass knife fingers, and it's really
Yeah,
hard.
like,
He's cutting page and he's
like Jackson, like Little Circus, like what the hell's going on here? What?
Also, because Freddy is very much like things like the dream demons really fuck with him. Going and meeting like what would be Pennywise's version of the dream demon is like would make him panic and be like shit, like tearing through the pages of the Necronomicon because the Necronomicon has like dimensional travel stuff.
Yeah. I think it'd be really funny. I'm imagining like the plankton going through alternate dimensions affecting the background as Freddy's getting pulled towards him.
Also, I would like the idea that after that, Pennywise tries the whole deadlight things again. You just have Freddy put on his sunglasses.
That is extremely funny.
the other Ridley matchup.
Yeah, the other one.
Yes. This is
Oh,
one I
Ridley's.
picked. This is from our Zorro. He couldn't be here today, dearly departed. But he is.
Oh my god.
I think this matchup's pretty fun. It's not the one I push for Ridley in general, but I think it is overall a pretty solid option. I think, like, stats-wise, I think Metroid and Star Wars makes a lot of sense as a pairing. This matchup, it does a lot of good. They're both extremely, like, violent fighters. They seem to perpetually want to go after Samus and Obi-Wan over and over again. You could compare Darth Maul killing Qui-Gon Jinn in front of Obi-Wan to Ridley killing Samus's parents. They both have been, like, viciously, horrifically injured that should kill them, but then they just, like, kept living via being stubborn assholes and coming back as, like, cybernetic selves. I think seeing Darth Maul with his lightsaber and using the Force occasionally fighting, like, this giant dragon would be really cool. I think, like, Darth Maul getting, like, hit by the Phazon, but then just, like, using the Force in his own stubborn will to not die to keep going and push through it would be extremely cool. I think this is an extremely solid option for Ridley if we didn't want to do Wolf versus Ridley.
Now,
Are they
I have
even comparable stat
I
wise? Like
have.
that you said that,
if
and
you're
my brain was like,
it's
what?
like
if you're using canon Star Wars, yeah.
Oh, then yeah. Just use canon.
I do have two big issues that keep me from loving this matchup.
Alright.
One, I feel like having a Star Wars matchup where, and especially a Maul matchup where he's not able to have a lightsaber duel. He is very much known for his lightsaber fights. He's not like a spammer of the Force. He does use it like during Order 66 and stuff, but that's literally when he's without his lightsaber against like clone troopers, you know?
Yeah.
His most iconic fights against like Obi-Wan, against Qui-Gon, against Palpatine are all lightsaber based. Against Palpatine, he barely uses any Force techniques. My PC went dark for a moment. Sorry about that.
We can still hear you.
Zoe hears me talking shit about his matchup and is trying to take over my PC.
do it.
My second issue is, like, it has pretty good thematics. Actually, you know what, Sherm? You talk about it better than I thought it would.
Oh, thank you.
Not exploring Savage Opress is the biggest issue for me. Darth Maul's closest relationship outside of, well, it's actually his closest relationship with someone who actually, you know, doesn't fucking hate him is Savage Opress, and not being able to explore like Palpatine killing Savage Opress during their battle fundamentally changes Maul into like the kind of paranoid version of himself we see in like the end of the Clone Wars, you know, where he's trying to tell Ahsoka like the Emperor has a plan for the clones and stuff. And I feel like I also feel like Maul is a very kind of complex character morally. He does start off like as a glup shito, I've got a lightsaber, I'm gonna kill people. But I feel like he evolves into something very more complex. And I don't feel like you get the whole... For those who don't know, how he dies in canon, he has a final stand with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan one-shots him. He goes bank, bank, boom, down the middle. And Maul's last words, talking about Luke, because they have a whole conversation before this, is like, he will avenge us. Maul is a very tragic figure with how he was treated. That's kind of a common thing with the Sith. Outside of good old fucking Palpatine out here, who's like, blast the other planet. and I don't think you get that tragedy with someone as fucking pure evil as Ridley.
I think that is very fair. It's partially just due to like the verses they're in, but I think Maul is in a much more like interesting verse in terms of just like, I almost want to say political, but that's not quite the right word. But like the situations they're in are a lot more nuanced than the comparatively more simple verse of Metroid.
Yeah, at least story wise. I
feel like this is an alright matchup, and genuinely, I came into this being like, I really don't like this. I get a lot more of the thematics now, thanks to how Sherm described it. It is just missing those marks to me that would make a good Maul matchup.
I will say though, the music for this would go hard.
Oh yeah, fucking hell yes.
Just anything involving Duel of the Fates would be glorious.
Yeah.
I do think that it would be a shame not to have like a good traditional sword fight, but I do think there are a lot of cool melee interactions you can do. I think it'd be cool for like Maul to be like deflecting the tail with his sword. I think you could have like Ridley just grabs Maul and is like dragging him on the ground, and then Maul like cuts Ridley's arm off to get out of it. I think there's a lot of interest.
There are definitely cool things to do with this.
Yeah, I just think having a Star Wars lightsaber character not be able to do like, especially iconic characters like Maul, who is known for like, Maul has my single hand. Palpatine versus Maul and Savage Opress is my favorite Star Wars fight.
Just
really
wait
good
till
fight.
in the next Metroid game we get introduced to Ridley's brother, Blue Ridley.
Ridley brings out a fucking sword out of nowhere to fight Samus, and Samus is like, "What the fuck?"
Honestly, if Ridley bust out the sword, this would be my preferred for both.
Ridley rips off his fucking tail.
He actually wields in his mouth like that, like Dark Souls dinosaur game. That was just
holy shit!
Oh wait,
that would be my favorite thing.
All right. Oh hey, the matchup I submitted.
And Chopper.
Space
I don't think I
Invaders
need to explain why this matchup's good. It's Space Invaders versus Galagans.
literally.
It's a very fun army fight. You know, obviously it'd be 8-bit, 16-bit. Anything higher than that, I don't want it. If it gets to 64-bit, no, not interested. And I feel like it would just be fun to do like a War of the Worlds-esque,
Yeah.
like kind of commentary, I guess, over it, where it's just that like kind of campy
Oh.
nature of like, here we go, we got two aliens fighting over the fate of the world. And they're
Like a
just,
narrator.
yeah, like a narrator. Like,
Yeah.
and plus also historically, Space Invaders Galagan, two very iconic arcade games. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here has seen that arcade cabinet with Galaga and Miss Pac-Man.
I saw them
Like,
in the hit movie Pixels, actually.
yeah, but
Oh,
that
I love
that was
that.
a staple at like the pizza place I went to all the time as a kid. It was always there, and I would always play it. And
I
Space
would-
Invaders is like one of the greatest. It's like definitely the greatest game on Atari, and one of the greatest arcade games.
This is one I considered submitting. I think one of the most interesting thing is like, not that I'm surprised, but it's very interesting how busted these two could get.
No, because like you're so used to just the arcade games, and then
Yeah.
you learn, oh yeah, there's so many other games, and then you learn, wait, Galagans have a supernova attack, and Space Invaders survived planets destroying.
I would love if we go in for that War of the Worlds aesthetic. I would love to have the track. I don't know if anyone has listened to the War of the Worlds musical.
No.
But there's a track called Eye of War, which is a really good track. I would love to have that kind of like theme going on with like the music that you'd have in the background for these two, you know, because you'd have to get a bit more creative with the track that isn't just.
Yeah. I do think this is a matchup where it's like you can just let your creativity shine, and it's just like,
It's so
okay,
good.
how can, because you got basically a blank canvas, and you're like, hey, how can we cook? And I think that's just exciting to see.
On Jobber's channel, Jobber Godot, there is a recorded pitch video for this matchup where the pitcher talks to Ben and Chad about it. And not only does it explain a lot of the cool things you can do with this fight really well, it's also just genuinely very funny. So I would highly recommend anyone who has even like a slight interest in this matchup, they go check out that video. It's very good.
Yeah.
So I used to have an idea that I think everyone here knows, where I was going to do like a pitch showcase kind of show, where we can kind of like, I would ask the people different questions, and we would try to get like to a really like focused nitty gritty on what makes the matchup so great. I actually did one with Croat that of course didn't get released because I canceled the series. But I did a bunch of back and forth with the guy that pitched this matchup. And one of our favorite ideas that we were throwing around is like the focus would of course be Galaga and Space Invaders. But throughout the whole fight, we were like, what if you start just sprinkling in little like Easter eggs references of like, because this is like the arcade matchup, right? It's like you got little fucking characters, like little dig dug creatures coming from the bottom of the ground, like peeking up, seeing a war, and just going back down, and it's
Like Frogger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you see
just
Frogger,
chilling.
you see.
In Billcord, when we see a bunch of references in the background when they turn the world upside down.
Yeah, it's like
you see like
you
a pixel Luigi and a pixel Pac-Man and brawling in the background just very briefly.
What's that really scary? Like everyone says it's like a scary old arcade game. It's like a giant metal face. It's like yells at you and like runs at you. It's one of those.
Oh fuck! I should
You know
this.
exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I could kind of see it. I just don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, same here. Like,
whatever. It's just you could have that thing in the background, just in like a passing shot, just to like. Sinistar, yeah, yeah. You can have so many fucking references just all over the place. Really show love for arcades in general, which are of course the beginning of.
Sinistar looks like it comes from a metal album.
It does.
Honestly does.
Holy shit! Yeah, right.
But I really like this.
This is just such a cool idea.
Yeah, like I think my favorite like idea for this one is essentially imagine like for example like we get like the little 8-bit like them fighting right, and let's say one of them like launches like a really like big attack, but from our point of view it's like oh it's like little like dots on the screen, and then like for no reason at all we just cut to a random like hyper realistic 3D shot of like the earth just like being like there's like a big beam that goes and just like destroys the earth, but like on like the we come back to just like the whole like 8-bit thing. It's just like a little.
I saw one idea where it's like the tank in Space Invaders is just doing its thing, trying to hit the invaders, and then that fuck ass bug from Galaga comes in, jacks the tank, and starts using it to attack the Space Invaders.
Oh my god! Yeah.
There's a lot of potential with this fight. I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Saul, Tony Chopper wants to know who the Daleks should fight.
The Sentinels from Marvel. Didn't pick that one because we have this one. Q from Star Trek. This is the Toy Maker from Doctor Who. This
Look at
matchup
that
is
mouth.
Neil Patrick Harris, am I right?
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris, Dr. Horrible himself.
So, the idea of this is that they are extra-dimensional characters who come down and torment a humanish kind of character who's like a genius and they are enamored with. They're big reality warpers who try to play games and teach lessons with the protagonist. Like, Q, in one of his first appearances, puts the entirety of humanity on trial, and Picard is forced to defend humanity, while the Toy Maker like forces the Doctor and his companions into his toy room to play his games. The difference between these two individuals is that Q, after like the humanity stuff, and like he begins to lighten up around Picard and eventually becomes one of Picard's closest allies, even showing up in the Picard show, which is where he looks like this, is where he's so old. In terms of like fight dynamic stuff, they are both reality warpers that can do whatever they want, but I always like the idea of using the different games and different like things they have been a part of to make this fight well. Like I would imagine it going into like a baseball field where everyone is like Q and Toymaker in the crowd. All the batters are versions of Q, and he's like taunting Toymaker. He's like, "Hey, batter, 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 batter!" And Toymaker throws like a version of Gallifrey as like the ball, which Q hits and stuff. You can have them in a boxing ring, which is what like Q loses his powers at one point, and like tries to box and stuff, so you could have them in a boxing ring. You can have normal reality warping stuff going in, like Toymaker bringing Q into the toy room. You can have them playing like intergalactic space chess with all the pieces being retroactive characters that they have interacted with. I just love this one. It's so good. Anyone else want to say anything?
I'm trying to figure out. Whenever I see reality warpers, my brain just goes like, "Oh no." I don't know what I can. I don't know. I have a hard time. Not saying this matchup is shit, so don't take it that way, right? I just have a hard time picturing matchups when like characters can do anything, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to know a little bit more on like when these two fight, how exactly, like what is their preferred method?
Q isn't much of a fighter in terms of he is a reactionary. He reacts to situations around him. Like, there's one where the Enterprise and Picard is like, I'm going to travel into the vast unknown of the galaxy. And Q's like, you're a fucking idiot. You're going to get killed. And Picard's like, fuck you, Q. And Q goes, fuck you, Enterprise. And sends it millions of light years away into the Borg. There are, like, when people are talking to him and he gets annoyed with them, he, like, turns them into dogs and different animals.
So in reality, this is a fight of intelligence.
Yes.
So
It's
the
a fight
Toymaker is
of
going to set
intelligence.
up a game, and Q has to win the game, essentially.
That's what the debate comes down to. As for the fight, I imagine them playing like a bunch of different games, you know? You can have your basic like fight in terms of like Toymaker would say create cards, which is something that he does when he fights, you know? When he's like battling the Doctor, he creates like card soldiers and sends them towards. Well, Q would like dissipate the cards, pull them back into his hands as like a reaction, and like shuffle the deck, you know?
Mm. I like that.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, this the debate
I-
is really close. Oh, you go on.
I think Saul's gonna write this one if we ever do it. That sounds scary to me, but you never know. I wrote Car Acts, and I somehow made that work. Anyway,
I helped.
that's
I gave
right.
ideas.
That's right. Sherm was also.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Sherm, this is the Sherm matchup. This
is the matchup I think of whenever Sherm talks. To be fair.
Yes, this is the one I talked about so much. I'd like to throw out just quickly, Orion versus Thor is also a matchup that I am a fan of and think works very well, and I think we could do that well. I just think like this fits the space theme more overall, so this is the one I want to talk about. Adam Warlock from Marvel versus Orion from DC. I think this is a very interesting space theme matchup because these are both characters that have like their own stories in Marvel and DC that kind of go around, that are kind of, they have a theme of like exploring the cosmology of their world, like with Adam's like Infinity Saga, where he's kind of in a weird borderline buddy cop relationship with Thanos. Like they're fighting just as much as they're just like talking about shit. And then like there's Orion's like goal to eventually destroy Darkseid. It's actually pretty interesting. Like before the DCAU Superman series, Orion was supposed to be like the opposite of Darkseid and the one to eventually take him out. And then the animated series kind of popularized the more Superman-focused antithesis to Darkseid. In Orion's original story, he's the one to put down Darkseid for good. I think this matchup's very interesting just because they're both like these characters that struggle with like their own potential for evil. Because Orion was the child of Darkseid, but was raised by Highfather. And there's this just rage and violence inherent to Orion that he struggles to like not give into a lot. Like it's a source of his power, but it's also like something he doesn't want to like let overwhelm him. Like he doesn't want to just become another Darkseid when he defeats Darkseid. And Adam Warlock, one of his first main stories was the Magnus, where he turns into like this like all-powerful evil guy that like takes over the whole universe. And like Adam Warlock has to struggle with the fact that like it's kind of weird implication wise because it uses a lot of logic that I forget how they logicked it out, but it was like Adam Warlock somehow turning into Magnus was nearly inevitable or something like that, and Adam Warlock had to like deal with that.
Yeah. Orion also has something similar with Kalibak, who is his half brother, who is the just kind of fucked up evil side man to Darkseid stuff. So you have a really good parallel of dealing with that.
Yeah. It's hard to say because there's a lot of very good Marvel versus DC matchups, go figure. But this in general is one of my favorite ideas. And I think like depending on where Marvel goes with Adam Warlock in the MCU, that seems very uncertain for him right now. But if these guys gain any kind of relevance sooner with Marvel Rivals, maybe it's right now. I think this is a matchup we should seriously consider. I think it's a very, very cool Marvel versus DC fight.
I would love to do this. This is a really cool. Also, I noticed we haven't really talked about what they can do in terms of their powers.
Oh yeah, right.
well, the render shows the Infinity Gauntlet, so
he shouldn't have that.
Fair enough.
Use it.
I will shut up.
Times he does use the Soul Stone though. That is like his main thing.
Which allows him to do stuff like steal people's souls, resurrect people, create like connections, like symbiotic relationships with people, and like control Silver Surfer's board. He's able to mentally control people. Like the Soul Gem is powerful enough it can defeat people like Mephisto, while Mephisto was in his own realm.
Yeah.
Not to say that Orion is anywhere weaker because he one-shot of like Superman one time.
Yeah.
He's been able to match Dr. Fate in power. he's been able to seal holes in reality. Basically, it's channeled through something called the Astro Force, which is why he's got this goofy outfit on. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I love how like you can sometimes tell when they don't really care about powers how these two have just so much fuck you powers.
Also, what's even more fuck you about it is Orion has a mother box.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Which he always carries with it as it like calms his rage, so he can like boom two people.
Wait, he has a support mother box.
Oh yeah, it's sentient.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's really cool. If we were gonna do a Marvel versus DC, I would love to do this one.
Yeah, I like the idea of like Orion. He like senses the power of the soul gem, because this is kind of what he does sometimes. So he like shows up and is like, "Hey, give me that. You can't have this, because I'm kind of an asshole." And then they just like are fighting, and it's really cool. Oh, man, I'm just imagining. Like, I think this would be visually very interesting. This is kind of why I picked it for the space theme, because I think you do a lot of fun stuff with like the space-like visuals of this.
Yeah.
You heard it here. This will be our first Marvel versus DC fight.
Let's
Anyway.
go.
Can we do a Marvel versus DC cast?
We have not,
no,
but
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
know what I would contribute to it. That's my thing.
Fair enough.
I
This is
can't
My
remember what
Adventures with
this is.
Superman Brainiac versus The Core from Amphibia. This was submitted by one. This was submitted by Rex. Primus Brainiac, that's what it's called. The general idea with this is that they are world-conquering AI robots that go around and have stolen the bodies of protagonists to further their goals, and they think anything that is not them is just like bad and dumb and stupid and should be them instead. I think it's very fun because they both have ways to get pretty high scale. Brainiac has like stolen the body of Superman, which you think would be pretty good, but to keep in mind this is My Adventures with Superman, who doesn't have like the crazy high stuff. So like the Core arguably has the AP advantage if you give them the fact that they can have technology that can slam the moon into the planet. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff. This would be like a big robot army fight. It'd be very interesting to see like all their different like you have like the Andreas giant mech suit just going to town on most of Brainiac's forces. I think there's a lot of very fun stuff you can do. I think this would be tricky for us to do just because like there's so many like stuff that doesn't have pixels or models, so we would have to make so much stuff to make this work. But I did want to give this matchup credit because like as a matchup I kind of love it. It's super cool.
I mean, I never watched like My Adventures of Superman. I gotta watch that. I mean, maybe is there like another season coming up or like in the works? Maybe.
They've said they've started season 3, but I don't think we've heard anything about it yet.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I've always seen and heard great things about the show. I've already seen Amphibia. I love Amphibia. And this core matchup that Louis described it, I mean, yeah, seems pretty down for it, especially if we're going for like a specific iteration of like a Superman continuity, of like a Brainiac. Yeah.
It's always very interesting when you take a character from like Marvel and DC. It's like, okay, we're all going to focus on this version.
Yeah, Primus Brainiac is. I'm gonna be honest. You could probably argue it shouldn't even be called Brainiac. It's like so much a different character. Like this is about as different from comics Brainiac as like DC AU Amazo is from normal Amazo. They're like only similar in like name, basically.
I mean, that name recognition will always hard to carry.
It also get small views.
It would get y'all views.
We just name it Brainiac versus the Core, and people are like
Brainiac. It just put
Brainiac.
DC Moss.
Yeah. I like
anyway, that's why Planeswars 1 did fucking sucks.
That's why my most wanted fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That's the conversation we were having when you were gone.
Fuck you.
Totally.
Clive.
I got a call and I had to walk away real quick. My bad. Yeah, I think this matchup's great.
Oh, this one.
Hey, the other one I submitted.
Another Star Trek Star Wars. It's almost like somebody should animate the versus
Yeah, someone should
Star Wars
animate it.
series.
Oh
I-
my god.
I feel like this is like the Star Wars Star Trek matchup, which is fine because no force, no lightsabers, just two dudes with guns.
You know what? Hey, that'll do nicely. Okay.
What is
that'll do
Kirk
nicely.
holding here?
It's a weird ass gun. It's a big ass
Yeah,
gun.
it's his big gun.
It's just a big gun.
It's
a
a
small phase, and I forget he has other weapons.
I
Yeah.
think what's good with this one, because obviously instantly, I can compare it easily to Picard versus Ron. It's got a lot more like, I feel like this battle can start on the ground and have like a quick draw gunfight. I've always liked the idea of the setup being, Han is smuggling. Oh, what are they called? They're
Oh God, I should know this.
Yeah, Tribble, which are like tribbles are like a species within Star Trek that are like commonly like smuggled and stuff. So he would like find the Millennium Falcon, open it, a bunch of tribbles would fall out, and he'd be like, "Hey, I'm taking you in," you know?
Mm.
Who
I think it'd be
wins?
cool if like the fight started like maybe on like a planet, like the Millennium Falcon's just parked somewhere.
Yeah,
and
Tatooine would make the most sense, right?
But then
Definitely, it would definitely be
then
Tatooine.
like they both get beamed aboard the Enterprise, and that's where like the last like third of the fight happens or something.
I struggle to see how much this I struggle to see this being a ship fight because I genuinely think the Enterprise.
The
Yeah, I don't
Enterprise
think you
would
make it a
dog.
ship fight.
The Enterprise would dog walk the Falcon. It's more of just these two like having a gunfight or hand to hand.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with like a brief ship battle between the two, but that would have to be saved for like the climax, you know?
Or it's like they're chasing the Millennium Falcon's running away, and then they just decide to just beam Han on the ship, and then the fight continues.
Yeah, one of them gets beamed onto the other because I think the Enterprise can forcefully beam other people up
I believe
as well.
I believe it can. I believe
Yeah.
it can.
This is really
Yeah.
good. I think the only reason why I'm personally like, oh, I probably would want to do the other ones is that Kirk appears in like every piece of Star Trek media, so we would have
Yeah.
to deep dive
That's fair. That is
everything.
fair. That is fair.
Yeah, that is fair.
Picard appears in a lot. Like he has his own novels and like, but Kirk is all over every show.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the face of it, so I guess that does make sense.
Yeah, it
But-
does make sense. He's not as much as Han is, even though Han's in quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
I will say
I-
this does seem like a very affordable episode to do, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it
Because
was.
you just gotta worry about like, I guess if you want to do the ship idea, just have the ship models, but it would mainly be sprites.
Han has the fucking stupid Starkiller base speed feat we'd have to talk about.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
he
know
like
what,
can
like-
he can time the button to
Yeah.
somehow like get into the atmosphere.
Which is like millions of times speed of light. Which is
Could we
such a
just argue that's like a luck thing and not a speed thing?
Well, actually, wait, hold on. Speaking about that, like the luck thing. I mean, I'm like, I'm mostly sure this isn't like for like canon. Was it Star Wars? But like this is more
Yeah.
so with the what was it called, legends or novels? But like the moments where like Han Solo does something like absolutely like incredible, like is basically like the explanation they give is that he's force sensitive, but he just doesn't believe in it.
Yeah.
Essentially. And I think that'd be like a very interesting aspect of, I mean, if we could put that in the matchup where it's just like where Han does something that's like genuinely like impossible. Like for example, let's say if the what was it, the Millennium Falcon versus like the Enterprise, right? And like basically Han is able to like it's almost like he has eyes at the back of his head or something like that. He's able to just sense things ahead of time and just do maneuvers and like Kirk's like, what the hell is okay? Just beam him on this show. This is crazy.
I think that would be, yeah, that would probably be the best way to do about it.
Also, at least like, at least, what's good at least about this is like, again, we don't have to end this in death. So Kirk could just kind of
Arrest
tuck
Han.
in, yeah. It's so funny. First death battle, like first versus show to end with someone getting literally arrested. We have like we had the
Damn.
post instead of the post analysis being like things from the either the fight or like the analysis. It's just a detailed processing of Han getting put into prison.
Like you're talking about it and you're seeing like the trial, him being and holding.
You see like his fingerprints get taken, and at the end,
the mugshot.
The ending is Han walking out of prison after getting bailed out by like Leia.
Damn.
That's
Damn.
actually hilarious.
That's a funny ending to me.
That's really, really funny.
Y'all should do it just for that alone.
Does Han have
That's pretty funny.
any advantages over Kirk?
No.
Probably not.
I think he's a better shot.
Okay.
I think he makes more like trickier shots.
Mm.
And I think if it came down to like who's the better pilot, Han flies the Millennium Falcon a lot more solo. The Enterprise is a lot more based on like like Spock and everyone working around it.
Mm.
But
Okay.
Saul, if it came down to a quick draw, I'm not quite sure.
Don't you
that
fucking
Han
dare.
What's the
would
next
shoot
matchup?
first.
What's the next
Don't you
matchup?
fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare.
Quick draw.
Who
I
submitted?
think-
Did I submit this?
No, correct.
No, that's me.
Oh,
It was
right.
me.
You're the best guy in the world. I love this matchup.
So this is just so people know this is the last one.
We're ending it all into this. All right.
This is a great matchup. You
So-
got good taste.
Sometimes. I love Men in Black, the first movie and the third movie specifically. And SCP's always fascinated me. And this is the best matchup for Men in Black versus SCP. Because Agent J, fucking great character. Will Smith at his peak. Like, no one could touch him. And Dr. Clef, this fucking bastard of a man. Such a fascinating character.
Yeah.
I would just love to see how these two would interact.
Dr. Clef is a very fun character, and seeing him like fight with Will Smith is very fun. I think Clef has, like all Foundation personnel, he has some developed resistance to amnestics. I think it'd be very funny that but it doesn't work. Like, it's still getting amnestics still can make you woozy and stuff. I think it'd be very fun if he tries to neuralize him and it gives him a headache, but he's still fine. He's like, ah, shit, ow.
There's a
Goes for the neuralizer. Clef's just like, why'd you do that, you dick? He's like, oh, fuck, that didn't work.
There's a
He's
really
just dazed really badly.
There's a really funny article between Dr. Gears and Dr. Clef, where Dr. Clef has monthly dates with 173, and he's like,
Oh yeah.
oh darling, you haven't touched your food, and stuff like that. And at the end, there's so you have all the D-class around. Are they actually needed, Clef? He's like, no, I've got things on them that makes 173 incapable of moving. I just like to let them watch.
What did
Yeah.
these guys do in a fight? Exactly.
They shoot people with guns.
That's it?
Agent J has access to every single weapon, all of the weaponry in MIB, which includes the Grasshopper, which is a tiny ass gun that every time he shoots it sends him back 50 feet. The recoil on it's insane. And he should have access to he should have access to all the vehicles, all the ships. I think oh god, what else is in those movies?
Dr. Clef is a gun nut who loves guns. It was also a member of a military organization that hunts down anomalies before he joined the Foundation. So he has basically all the standard Foundation guns he'd have access to. He has an atomic revolver, which gives you cancer. That will kill you within minutes.
Harley Quinn gave me cancer?
That's the Harley Quinn cancer gun.
Well, why would you develop this?
He has the two most important things that he probably has for this debate would be SCP-776 ARC, which is a 6-sided die that, when rolled, it either creates a large fireball, large quantities of water that then freezes, creates a tornado, or creates an earthquake up to 7.8 on the Richter scale. He also has SCP-1023 ARC, which is a blade contracted of the Trikill. Apart from that, he has Winchester shotguns, firearms. He he stomps you because like he, as annoying as this is, he is a like immortal entity who can't die from like. He's been shot in the head with a shotgun and came back from it. He's also been able to regenerate his body after he's been like made into paste and stuff.
Well, that
What the
heavily
fuck?
depends on which version we use for Clef. Clef is one of those characters that has like a couple different versions. We'd have to pick the one that works the best.
Yeah.
Like if we just did like comp Clef, it'd be like a bunch of different versions of him that don't really make sense to put together.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think he has a motorcycle, if I remember correctly.
Isn't that
Oh, we can add that because there's a because he has that cool ass motorcycle in Men in Black 3.
Well, some SCPs you don't have to pick a version for. Like 173 is consistent throughout like all continuities.
Yeah, but it's like
yeah, like there's
but
some
Clep's always
anomalies can
changing.
comp with like no issues. Others you have to like, all right, which version are we talking about here?
Yeah. I just think
I
it's
like this matchup's really good. You picked a very good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Like
It was
that.
very. I was going to pick a different H&J matchup, but I decided against it.
I like this one better, so I'm glad you did.
Oh,
This one was also actually requested in the Nebula theater thing on the Discord, but they just didn't upload a thumbnail with it. I don't believe.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I believe this was.
Does-
I want to find that while you guys talk real quick.
Does Agent J have any like sprites or models?
Well, there was the
was
animated show.
It was SPD Red Ranger.
Yeah, no, SPD Red Ranger Jack was the other matchup I
Yeah, that
was
was the
going
one
to
that was
probably pick.
submitted with other thumbnail play.
Oh, yeah, that was the one I almost made.
Oh, was it?
That was one I almost picked.
Yeah, that's the one that was.
I like that one too. That dives more into like how Agent J and Jack started because they were just kind of like outsiders and they got invited into these organizations that deal with aliens and space and they go around and constantly save the world. The difference is that Jack ends up leaving after his job's done. Agent J stays around. And then in the comics, he almost comes back, but that got canceled. It would have been really fucking cool. Power Rangers fan came out. I'm gonna stop talking for a second. Back to this. I'm sorry, the Power Rangers fan in me came out for a second. For Agent J, I believe there is a video game where he does have a model. I think it's a PS2 game.
Okay.
I can't exactly remember, but sprites for him shouldn't be very hard to make because it's just a dude in a suit.
Yeah, we probably could just get any guy in a suit, sprite sheets, and modify it pretty easily.
Yeah, it's just a dude wearing a black suit. That's all you gotta worry about.
I keep forgetting that Saul has you in his palm.
Yeah, fucking free me, man.
Does Croat live or does he die?
Find out on the next
No.
Theater cast.
What do you think should happen to him, Jobber? Should he live or die?
I think you know what? I'm a graceful god today. I think he should live.
What do you think should happen, Klein?
I'm gonna agree with my boy Jobber. He hasn't let me down yet.
And what do you think should happen, Sherm?
Really? After all the work I've done?
And I say no. Can we throw up a poll quick in chat? Should he live or die?
God damn.
Live or die, man. Die. Wrong. Sing it.
Hold on. I have it recording the screen
Ah,
of
help!
Discord.
It's tracking me.
Hold on. I got this.
Oh god, man. I can't believe my fate's coming down to YouTube chat.
Hold on. I hope
Has
it's not
YouTube chat ever
showing.
let you down?
No comment.
I hope it's not showing, and I was terrified.
Oh yeah, it's not showing. It's just our faces are gone because he's in OBS right now.
It's messing around with that OBS.
Sorry, give me 1 sec.
No one can see this costume change that I'm doing.
I almost said Jobber.
Jobber, do you think you should be killed?
Yes.
Let
Whoa.
me think.
Hang on. A second.
Whoa, hold on.
Like this
You
is
might have to
merely an
talk about
avatar
this.
form. Like there's like a true form of jobber that exists beyond the platonic
concepts of this reality.
Everyone, I need everyone to vote for Liv, because I deserve to live. I'm cool.
Oh, I can't actually see the results of the poll on my phone. That's not good.
It looks like right now we have a 90% live right now, so your chances are looking good.
Let's go.
Let's go.
There you go. You're letting a not so innocent man live. What did I say?
Did we say not? Did we say not so innocent? Goodbye.
The fuck?
I like that you can still see Chopper's. Oh, there we go.
No! No!
He's
The
dead.
sanctity of the poll.
Oh
How
no.
could you?
I don't care about what people want.
All right.
This is the illusion of free choice right now.
The illusion.
is.
It's the illusion.
We actually did it on time, Sherm. We finished before 2.
Yeah.
Hey.
What's happening at 2?
Well, you said because we have our meeting later, you were like, "Oh, we gotta finish by 2, so we can have a break between this and the meeting."
Yeah.
No, I said we
hey.
should start at 2 at the latest, was what I said.
Do you want? I will. Hold on. I'm not ending this stream until I prove you wrong. Hold on. Hold on.
Please don't leak any of the episodes. Please don't leak any
I'm
of
doing
them.
it-
Leak
I'm
all
doing
the
it on my
episodes
phone.
to me.
I'm doing
Leak
it on my
leak
phone.
them all to me. I would love to know. I won't say anything. I promise. I'm dead.
Also,
Dead men tell no tales.
for those who can see on the stream, that is the Doctor Who audiobook called Cybergene. You should give it a listen. It's really
Quote,
good so far.
Santi Sherm, the SCP
So
guy,
if the meeting is at 5, we probably don't want
1/3/2026.
a space banter later too. Okay, bye. It's okay.